important to know, Darryl's an awesome dude, and you talk about love for his coworkers, maybe not fully seen here by the group, but he loves his coworker there so much that he gave her his pack of animal crackers. And I know that wasn't easy for him to do, and I applaud him for doing that. Caroline, I think about ramping up when our athletes come back to campus, but maybe just talk about ramping down. We've got fueling stations all over our complex. We have food. You manage so well the flow of that. How did we and maybe both us and Sodexo, who handles some of our student fueling, what did we do with all this food that we had on campus that all of a sudden we're no longer going to be using?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that. We operate 18 individual fueling stations in and around the athletic department so that athletes have the right fuel at the right time to fuel training, to promote recovery and hydration. We sneak some actually great food quality, high quality food groups into their day, some whole grains, some fruits, being sneaky like we are. But when the decision was made to shut everything down, particularly when Michigan governor, closed all of the gyms and the fitness centers across Michigan, that included our weight rooms, because we were attempting to keep a couple of fueling stations open so that we could help fuel the athletes. So we are having people wash their hands on the way in, wear gloves to select their food, wash hands on the way out. We went around and closed down all but 2 fueling stations very quickly at the end. I don't even know what week it is anymore. A couple of Fridays ago, maybe Friday the 13th perhaps. And we pulled all of the perishables. We checked all the dates on foods. We looked at best by, use by expiration dates. So anything that would be good into August, September, we left in proper storage, but we pulled everything else out. We put all of those food items into those 2 fueling stations while we had weight rooms still open. Once the decision was made to close, we started bagging up all of our perishables and handing those out to athletes to take home, because we thought the next best thing is to make sure our athletes have food and snacks on hand where they are. When everything shut down, we kept 1 fueling station open last Tuesday morning and made the announcement for student athletes to come and take all of the perishables that they thought they could use, whether it was fruit and yogurt and milk. We had hard-boiled eggs and cheese sticks and all sorts of perishable products. So we all gathered together and brought our handle bags, and athletes came in, and again, we had them wash their hands on the way in. We had them wear gloves. We had them pack bags of food. And then on the way out, again, had them use hand sanitizer just to protect their safety, but to get all of those perishables distributed. So there was no food waste. We still had a little bit left over. So Sodexo has a very strong partnership for many years now with a food recovery program. So they were able to donate everything that we could not distribute to this food recovery program. It turned out to be, several cases of yogurt, some of the milk that was good for about another week or so. So they were able then to distribute that through the food recovery program that goes out to food banks in 3 counties around Metro Detroit.
Outstanding, thank you. I'll give a call for one more questions to the panelists, but while we wait for maybe one more question to come in for the group, thinking about everybody here who's on the webinar. We're impacted by this as well. It's not about us. But since I have my health experts, health and wellness experts with us today, do you have ideas on how regular folks can cope at home? Thinking about, different personality styles, different rates of metabolism, activity levels. But can you give us some workout ideas, nutritional ideas, ways that we can improve our own mental health during this time?
Yeah, I think a couple of things that we are recommending through athletic counseling is establishing a balanced routine with work, with meals, with movement. We're encouraging people to stay active. So if that means doing something in the house, like Darryl referenced earlier, or getting outside and taking a walk as we engage in responsible social distancing, those things are important. We also want to be really intentional with how we're communicating with each other, because we're relational people. Whether we're introverted or extroverted, we spend a lot of time depending on conversations and that care and compassion from others. So connecting with people by phone, by video chat, and carving out time in the day to do that. I think the other thing that I've heard very often is people are like, oh, well, now I'm going to clean my entire house and I'm going to do my spring cleaning. And while that's a great idea, it can also be kind of overwhelming. So we're encouraging people to do one thing at a time, one day at a time, and to make memories during this unprecedented time, to take care of ourselves and each other.
I like that, Abigail, and I like how aligned we are and how much our disciplines really overlap in terms of our recommendations and our perspective around the idea of that routine. I've got a lot of athletes who are really working on sleep hygiene, and this is a great time to incorporate that into the routine when we talk about sleep and its effect on cognition and health and performance and reduction of injury risk. That this is a great time to maybe instill going to bed and waking up at about the same time every day, because then that can support what you're talking about, maybe waking up in the morning and having breakfast, getting a workout, attending online classes, doing some work, taking a power nap. Sounds great. I like the idea of using this time to take a step back from some stuff, to decompress, to de-stress. I'm looking out my window right now thinking about my spring gardening, maybe an opportunity to work on that as a little stress break, but really nutritionally an opportunity to set some goals. I've got lots of people who want to eat more fruits and vegetables. This is a great time to practice that. If fresh isn't available, canned and frozen dried fruits are very nutritious. And a great opportunity. Maybe this is a great time to practice your meal prep skills, to double a recipe and cook enough for the family for a couple of meals, clean out the freezer and put some of those leftovers in the freezer so they're good for next week or the week after, paying attention to food safety. So, we talk about SMART goals all the time, something that's specific and measurable and achievable. Maybe this is a time for people to pay more attention to real basic, achievable things such as hydration, healthy snacks, the kinds of things that we talk about all the time, we can all be working on and have that make us feel really good. I know that on my iPhone yesterday, I sat and did work for many hours, and I'm used to seeing like 10 or 15,000 steps in my day on my iPhone. I got to 6 o'clock last night. I had 160 steps. Got myself into the basement real quick to do a real workout, because our worlds got really small and our bodies are used to moving. And so, utilizing, luckily I have a little bit of fitness equipment in the basement, so I can get a nice workout at home.
Darryl, what are your takeaways here?
I'd echo everything they said. Just get outside, go out for a walk. It's supposed to be like 60 degrees tomorrow. Definitely take my dogs for a walk. I will definitely have the grill and the griddle out tomorrow. Doing something on the grill. I got to see what's in the freezer. Maybe sneak to Walmart and get something. But take the time to do some things that you enjoy. Don't just sit at home and work all day, but take the time to do some things that you enjoy.
All right. With that, I think we're all done with questions. 12:01, right at about 60 minutes. Caroline, Abigail, Darryl, thank you so much